example. Okay, so on top of that ad media spending, we also measure separately spending on the website and similar web presences, like a Facebook page, landing pages, etc. And we see that adds, it's now getting close to another $1,000 to the media spend in Wave 15 here. So that the total together is now close to $4,000 annual spend. And even more importantly, that the proportion of the total spend that's going to the web presence is now over a fifth of total media and services spent. Okay?
So if the U.S. website business is about $10 million, it's 25% of all the interactive. What this chart shows is basically a 20% increase. So it's going to go, if you include presence in it, from $10 to $12 million. Is that fair?
Slightly. That's fair. Okay. The terms of the presence. Okay. Again, presence is a number of properties, and I think this is maybe my most important takeaway is that we're trying to shift the whole dialogue about SMBs online from being a discussion about a dialogue about websites and other forms of specific web properties to a more cohesive, integrated picture of the web presence of the small business, of the cluster of properties that in their own right are actually a small ecosystem, that are linked, they're strongly integrated, they share content, they function on almost a real-time basis with real-time connectivity or approximately, etc. So anyway, in terms of the specific presences or the specific properties that comprise that presence, this actually is a couple of different questions that I've put together the results for. That the orange bar at the top shows you the percent of SMBs that currently, today, have that type of presence. So that, for instance, 66% of SMBs say they now have a website. The hashed orange right underneath that is the percentage of SMBs, it is the percentage of the total that are planning to add that presence in the next 12 months. And then the rest either are not planning to or haven't made up their minds. But what you can see is that there's already a strong march here into multiple website presences. Okay?
Yeah.
At the same time, now I'm going to double back a little bit. At the same time, we see that there is not very much activity. There's not a whole lot of updating of the content that's on these multiple sites. Only about a little over a third, update this content at any of these sites, at least weekly.
So this is my favorite site. My favorite slide of the whole thing is that we want more web presence. We want to do more stuff on our business. They put it up so there's always dead pages around, right? So they don't update it. They don't update their website. They don't update their Facebook page. At vSplash, we have to put together some crawling data that we'll get to in a minute. I think we asked them, like, how much would this business be worth if someone was going to go fix all these things? And they think it's between $30 to $50 billion at current rack rates to go out and fix all of these problems that we see on these websites.
And I think that what that slide also gets into is a whole separate discussion that we're not going to have right here, but a separate discussion about the kinds of services that will provide value to SMBs in the new era of web presence.
So I think on that last slide, it basically means like someone's going to have to help people with the concierge level service, enable them to update all these disparate presences around the place, because they're not going away. So the question is, who's going to enable the tools and technology and the people to make sure that these things stay up to date?
Okay. Now, this is some of the data that Matt referred to. This is SMB Digitalscape data that has been developed by a company called vSplash that we have just entered a strategic agreement with. That I think the press release that I think is hitting the wires just about now. The technology behind Digitalscape is very powerful crawler technology that looks at hundreds of thousands of websites, and the data I'm showing you here is from their fourth quarter assessment of over 717,000 SMB websites in the U.S., functioning websites. And they survey they assess 90 different parameters for these websites, and I'm only going to show you literally a handful of them. But what they found in Digitalscape is that just over a third have a local phone number on the home page. Okay, so 2/3 of them no phone number on the home page.
I might be wrong, but is that important?
Is that important? We'll offline that. Only a quarter have an email address on the homepage, and again, only about a third have a form of any type to collect an email or a name or any information from the consumer that's on that website. So otherwise, they're just bouncing off that website. Also, one of the other buckets of data, of parameters that are evaluated by Digitalscape have to do with the discoverability or the SEO ability, the SEO robustness of the website. And here, some fascinating information, just like other information. Google PageRank of 0, as low as you can possibly go in the Google algorithm. 94% of US SMB websites garner a Google PageRank of 0. 84% don't have a privacy policy posted on their page, which means they're ineligible to participate in Google AdWords. Okay, which is, I mean, right out the box, they can't do it. And about 58% lack some key element like a title or meta tags or descriptive information, key information that is searched that is crawled by Google and other search engines, so that they're highly deficient from that standpoint. And finally, I'll leave you with the thought that social media, as you know, our survey says, social media is now responsible for 15% of total SMB advertising marketing spending, up from almost nothing a couple years ago.
So I think the takeaway here is the market is deficient on a variety of different measures. Businesses want more complex solutions and more help doing them. The market's probably going to grow at least 20% a year, depending on how you measure it and what you include, whether you include larger websites or smaller websites. And in order to fix it all, they're not going to spend $40 billion to fix a $10 billion industry. They're just going to accelerate when they start to switch website providers. So if you're in the website business, the presence business, I would expect this business to ramp up fairly quickly, because if your choice is, should I spend twice as much as it costs me to build my website to fix it, or should I just go get a new one? I mean, the answer is pretty obvious. You're just going to go and get a new one. You want to add anything else to that?
No, just go ahead.
Perfect. All right, so next one. Share loss and the shift to digital. A couple of quick charts. I highlighted the buckets here that are probably the most important for this specific part of the discussion. So this is the 2011 pie chart for local media revenues. It's $132.8 billion. The market grows at like just under 2%, about 1.4% or so a year for 2016. Dominated by people you'd expect to dominate: yellow page companies, large employed Salesforce, direct mail, easy to use, 28%, and newspapers, 17.9%. Everyone else has a different kind of piece of it. Not all these people are actually kind of attacking the small business market. Let's look at 2016. You see Yellow Pages share dropped by 2 points to 4.7. And I actually should include, this includes the digital portion of their business as well. So the pie chart includes online revenues as well as offline revenues. The newspapers drops from 17.5 to 13.2. No doubt, and we hear a lot about it. Classified business does a lot better online. Lots of businesses are migrating over. So I'll leave you with this quick thought. So if you look at the rank order of companies and industries that have a percentage of their revenue online, those that see the greatest share shift from 2011 to 2016 are also the ones that have the highest rate of online penetration. So I'll turn it over to these guys. Why do you think this is? Is it structural? Do you think it's right? Do you think this is an anomalous piece of data? What do you think, Steve?
I'm going to be fast because Peter has some important things to say. But I think the online products are, to a large extent, so far, substitutes for traditional media. And they're much lower price substitutes, within the vicinity of 1/6 to 7th or so of the cost. So to some extent, it's a substitution of one product for another, but by a much cheaper product that is causing massive price deflation. And it happens that this substitution / deflation has hit directories first before it's really grabbed the others. But I think the bigger picture is that the whole nature of web presence is going to change. It goes way beyond the substitution.